Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Silent Podcast, where we are going to be covering episode 3 of Survivor South Africa. I'm your host, Sasha Joseph, and I'm here with my co host and my podcast alliance, Jason. How are you?
Hey, Sasha, I'm doing really well. Excited to be here talking about this new episode. And I also, from the start, want to wish a happy Father's Day to my dad. So I'm repping my Husker shirt today because he's from Nebraska. So hopefully he watches this far into the podcast to hear the shout out. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about the tribe swap.
Yes. Happy Father's Day to everyone listening. Happy Father's Day to the single mothers. You got to do what you got to do to get it done. So yeah, let's get into it. I love this episode, Jason. Again, I have come to the conclusion today or yesterday when I was rewatching it that international reality TV is almost always better than American reality TV.
Yes.
Like this can't be a thing. Like The Circle delivered, killed it. Australian Survivor always winning. Survival South Africa, amazing. What's another show that we were all
Big Brother
BB
Canada.
Hello. Like delivering. And then there's Big Brother US is starting. But I just want to say international reality TV is better, and we're wasting our time on American reality TV. Hot take. I don't know.
Welcome to the club. I am so happy to hear you have this take. I realized this a few years ago in the summer of International Survivor when it was South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, all in between US seasons. And they all three were better than the following season that fall. Doesn't matter which season. I won't name names. Every winner deserves to win. But I am so happy with Survivor South Africa. The casting, the editing, the challenges are so fun. I love the advantages, the twists, the disadvantages, maybe next episode. And I just hope they keep bringing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love it, and I've been sleeping on it, and that's on me, people. That's definitely on me. But like I said, the casting itself is just so great on these shows. And like, I'm just very confused on why United States or like US casting is so behind. Like, what's up, man? What's up?
I do have to say, I think a big factor for this season being so awesome already is because these people were in the pandemic.
Yeah.
They were locked in their houses, not able to communicate with people. I think I saw a secret scene or a video of Anesu saying she was so happy to hug people because she hadn't hugged anyone in a year. And I think they are here to play. They're living this opportunity when everyone else they know is trapped inside. And I think it also applies to BB Can 9. They were just so eager to do something different. And it really reflected on the screen. So here's hoping to the next season of US Survivor.
That's please. Yes, and please. And this cast that we've gotten is looking good. Like, I want to say that for sure for 41. So I don't want to knock it. But yeah, like I said, I've said this on Twitter before. I'm not a fan of like 50%, like Black, Indigenous, people of color casting because like we're not all the same. So how can we all be 50%? You know what I mean? Like it should be just 100% diverse. And in that, like there should be white people. No one's saying take out white people, but like I just mean that we shouldn't be relegated to just 50% of the casting when we're all so different. It's not like you're saying 50% Black or 50% Indigenous, which like let's get some Indigenous people also on United, like US stuff as well. And like Asians, like we're basically one cast, maybe two. And then you get Circle UK. Oh my God. And then it's sorry, they're not all Indian, so they're all like 4 South Asians. That's crazy. When does that ever happen? So anyway, that's like our little rant. We can move on, but so yeah, let's get into this episode. What did you think? We get a start with like Anisu like explaining what happened.
I was really impressed with her gameplay in this episode. She showed us right away how she is there to play. And she admitted, Pinty was one of my friends. It was hard to vote her out, but I had to do it to advance my game. And I respect that. They often don't show us women having confessionals like that, showing to be that strategic force. and I was impressed. I also thought it was interesting that Paul gave us a soundbite giving the credit for the blind side to Mike instead of Carla. And I thought that was a very interesting assumption he made when it was in fact the opposite. It was Carla who made that move, and it really made her head a lot bigger and gave her so much confidence in this next cycle of the game.
Exactly. I 100% agree. So I'm rewatching San Juan del Sur, and like
Great season.
Yeah. And yes. And this, kind of keeps coming up where the women keep getting like overlooked. Even in the edit actually. But still, the women are getting overlooked even though they're kind of, making these like really good, correct moves. And just like Carla, she's like, my number one is in trouble. I don't like Pinty. So what I gotta do? Get Pinty out. And I know that Paul is speaking like he's emotional, but like take a step back and like think about who's talking, which for me it definitely comes up later as well with like Shappies and Paul like are a little kind of like lost in the sauce, I felt, until like the end and they got it together. But still, where again, it was shitty to like hear that. And I'm not even a Carla fan, but it's just frustrating because you and I on the last episode were like, who's Mike? We didn't even know Mike existed. This whole time I thought him and Shappies were the same person, so I couldn't tell. So definitely agree. And interesting you say that because I actually don't agree with Anisu, I will say, because she had only reason I say that is because she had, I felt like, majority with her, like everyone was almost following her, besides maybe those three, but everyone else, and those three I mean is Kieran, Carla, and Mike. But everyone else was, I feel like, was going to vote with her. Maybe I'm wrong though, I will say. But so that's why I was like, girl, you could have kept her, but why keep someone that's, not worth putting your neck out just yet? You only have so many maybe cards to play. So I agree with that piece. So I still understand. I'm mad, but I think I'll be okay.
The next thing that happened that I was so excited to see was my new girl, Santini, confiding in Chappies, building that alliance. We saw Chappies talk about that in the last episode. We have to buddy up with her. If she gets sent to Immunity Island, she's going to get a clue. And it came full circle. She gave Chappies that clue. And I think they could be a very underestimated secret alliance moving forward. They are so different, but they seem to be on the same page. They are vibing together like crazy. And I am so excited to see someone like her playing the game so hard and so well.
And people underestimating her is her biggest asset. So I want her to keep that energy in the confessionals where, she's going hard. But I really want her to play the like, what's going on? I'm, just the weak player. I'm the, archetype of the first boot, blah, 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 whatever. Like she's doing so well. And I know we'll talk about it later, but like this is another moment of the woman I feel like being underestimated because it's actually her. I feel like if she wanted to switch and keep Mike, I think Paul and Shappies would have. I really believe that.
I agree. She definitely was the power player in this episode. And I hope we see that moving forward, that this isn't a one-hit wonder. This is a platinum record that we get to experience for all 14 or 15 episodes.
Period. Anthony, you're the platinum record. That's
right.
Yep. No, like I said, I very much agree. I feel like she's doing all the right things. I got a little stressed when they gave us the confessionals. I know I'm jumping, sorry, about like her being like, I like that I'm in the middle, but the reasons, again, which is very in US, like the male reason where I don't want to get, too attached to someone. I just want to be able to vote them out if I have to. Again, I feel like that's queen shit. So
hell yeah.
Thank God that we have her. She was sent to Immunity Island when she was, because we were able to have her for that reason. And then we go to Zamba and Theresa. Yeesh.
Talk about a roller coaster, being so high with Santini's gameplay and then just crashing right down with the way that Nicole and Amy and Marisha were interacting with Dorizo. It was making my blood boil. My face was as red as my shirt. Watching this, I was so upset and thinking, you are saying to her, we need your trust. You have to prove yourself. And I thought to myself, like, Dorizo doesn't need to prove herself because she would be the number 4 person in that trio. Why does she want to work with them? Why would she show them loyalty?
Exactly.
It made no sense to me. And I just saw these girls as being bullies ganging up on her by herself.
And you could even tell, right? Like, which this is like, what is it? Like body language, but maybe not just body language, where the three of them, I think they were up higher than, and Teresa was lower, I believe.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. So immediately that shows you the power shift and the power dynamics in the conversation, because like I said, I think Teresa could have maybe played it a little bit better to be like, try to get in with them. But I agree. Why does she need to? I think her mind is, I'm out either way. Why should I kiss, their butts to like, and still go out and be blindsided? I'd rather just be honest. And I appreciated her calling them out. I think that's actually how I would play. And I think I would get voted out early because of it. But she's correct to say the three of you are together. And I see that.
And Nicole's response was, well, we can be a girl band.
So condescending. Ew.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't infantilize her. Like, I don't know their correct ages, but like if Teresa's at least the same age as Nicole, right? Or older, but I don't think Teresa's younger than Nicole. So don't speak to anybody like that. That's so disrespectful. There's absolutely no reason for you to be that smug when Teresa is correct. And I was, because you and I even said that last week, where how are they keeping these three girls together? Because of this exact reason. They're so tight and everyone knows it. So I agree. I think Teresa knows she's an obvious vote and she shouldn't kiss ass. Instead, she should be like, you need me. You need a 4 if you want to get anywhere.
And before we left the Zamba Beach, I was impressed with something she said, identifying that her, Threezo, and Keon and Dino were the 3 people on the bottom.
Sean, right?
Was it Sean?
Oh, I thought it was Sean, but maybe I'm wrong.
It could be. I'm really
way.
more making the point of seeing that her and Keon, and we saw this in the last episode, them cheering for each other. They are making this relationship, and I just hope the edit shows it. We got a snippet of it in the next week on preview, and I just would love to see them working together because they're underestimated by everyone else on the beach. And they're bringing
only 2 women of color currently right on that beach as well, before this swap, I mean. And they're the most underestimated. Wow. How obvious. Like, come on. Like, try, a little bit to be a little less stereotypical. But after that, we get to pretty quickly, I feel like, the tribe swap reward challenge where Nico says, drop your buffs. It's time. And I'd love to hear, your thoughts on this. One on like timing of it. And then secondly, maybe we should go through a little bit and see like who's a winner here, who's a loser in this.
I first want to acknowledge that I was wrong. They were not swapping into 3 tribes. It's only 2 tribes. False alarm. I'm not perfect. It makes sense to me to split them up in 3 tribes of 6, but I really like the dynamics of 2 tribes of 9. And it creates that 5-4 numbers, but also with someone going to Immunity Island, there's someone losing their vote every time. So I'm really curious to see how this gameplay evolves. I thought it was very rare that it was a 6-3 split on both sides. How often does that happen?
This is where I wanted to, I actually wrote this down. So Nico was giving them the urns, right? Usually when Jeff in US Survivor will like just have kind of a bag and they all reach in it. But Nico was giving them, there were 2 urns. To me, I was like, is that a little bit of production interference? I
think it's just them being more honest with what is happening on the beach. I have heard people on the streets have said that Jeff always has 2 urns as well. One for the males and one for the females, because they try to have control over the gender balance.
Got it.
And they only ever show one. It's like a fancy editing trick. But he always has 2. So I think Nico,
so this might be that.
I think they're saving the budget on the production editing to get better rewards, because these rewards in this challenge were legendary. So
Yes.
many wonderful things to win, battle after battle. So I think they
Mhm.
invested the funds in that instead of
Yeah.
like making it look like there's only one urn.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was like, why are there two urns? But okay, so because of gender, that makes way more sense. I was like, this is shady. Why did it, come out so perfect, 6-3, on both sides? So thank you,
Yeah.
Jason. We love an insider.
And I will also say, even though that Tyson and Inesu and Kieran are in the minority, I actually think they are in a more powerful position because they're loyal to each other.
Yeah.
Those three are in lockstep. It's not like it was three people who don't get along. And I think all three of them are power players. They know what to do, they know how to build relationships, and they're all very physically competitive. So I would be very nervous if I was the other six people in their tribe.
I agree very much, and that's why I think right, Dino and Rainier were like pretty freaky, like pretty much like being like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Because yeah, I agree with you because I didn't add them as like losers necessarily because those three are together. Plus, they should. God, I hope they do. Get Kian and Therizo with them.
Yeah.
As like you're at the bottom there, a four, and there's three of us. There's no, like Anisu, I think, needs to do her like, there's no bottom here. Like, we, somehow being like, we're just getting together. I would lie. Who cares? I would be like, Jason and I are just now getting together. We didn't really talk before. We were not all the time together. Something like that, I think I would say.
And I do also want to say that if Anesu or Tyson or Kieran even sees Nicole communicating to Therizo like she did earlier in this episode, it's a wrap. Nicole's getting voted out because they
I
will not
hope.
stand for that. And
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking watching this tribe division.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping, which is very bizarre because it's going to be the people of color, I think, versus the white folks. But either way, I hope that happens because this new Vuna is, I think, now my favorite tribe because all my faves are now on almost all.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I like Smash as well, but are on this tribe now. So I was like, please don't let them go to tribal yet. But yeah, I also thought, did you notice that Chappies was talking about, which I'm like, bless your heart, is like, this is messing up my game. Da da da. I was like, what? Did He's so wrong. Like he probably was gonna go home.
I agree. I think this swap really benefits him. I also
Yeah.
feel if he is a fan of the game, none of these people are Survivor rookies, as Rainier told us later in the episode. He should expect a tribe swap at this point in the game. It is very common, both in US and all international seasons. So I find it very hard to believe that he didn't see this coming.
Yeah, and he's like I said, I think he thinks that it's gonna mess up his game. I don't know if production made him say it or like as like what are your feelings about this? Because all things are coming up, Chappies, because
Yeah.
he has Santony and he also had Mike, not Carla, but Mike, like kind of be like, hey, let's like figure this out. Let's be together. So wrong. He's wrong on his own place in the game. So bless his heart. That's why Santony is the better one in the two of them, or three maybe if Paul is part of that too. Rainier definitely a loser. All his alliances gone.
I felt bad for him. He feels very lost. I wonder if when they go to tribal, if he's going to pull out his old trick, pointing to someone to vote them out. I really hope he reaches rock bottom only so it makes him do that.
Yes.
And we can see him in scramble mode.
Agreed. Oh my god. I also think Kian and Therizo, again, I feel like they should flip and it would give them a lot of leverage. And now I want to see Therizo have that conversation to be like, now you need to prove it to me or I'm going to vote your ass out, Nicole.
And I wonder how Dino, his dynamic is going to play into this tribe. He's very strategic. He's very observant. He's no longer a challenge beast, which I think plays into his benefit. And I feel he would align with anyone and stab them in the back the next day. He's there to play for himself. And I hope that 100%. Really shines through in this phase.
And I can see Kieran actually going and having something with Dino. So that's the only, like, I'm trying to think of Aniso and Tyson. I think Aniso is just like, everyone come to me. Sure. Why not? Dino and Rainier obviously don't trust Tyson. So that's why I don't see that. Maybe I don't see that, but at least, because I feel like Dino and Kieran will actually have something going, like
Mhm.
something that could have some legs to it, basically, versus with anyone else. Marisha and Nicole, I mean, that's nice. They're gonna be together. Still frustrating to some. And then Zamba, like it's a Vuna majority. It's so funny. It's basically they switch tribe names because there's a Zamba majority at New Vuna and a Vuna majority at New Zamba. Bizarre. Santini, winner because she rightfully so, I think, is still playing the middle where I think if she needs to, she'll flip back now that Mike is gone. And if she needs to, I mean, but I think she actually genuinely likes Smash, Shane, and Amy. Yeah, I don't know about Amy because I don't know that they've had time to bond, but at least Smash and Shane. And then Carla, what do you think? Oh, girl.
I actually feel that Carla's game is taken a step back because Kieran left that duo. Sorry, that Mike, Carla, and Kieran were a trio. The three of them were together. I think Kieran was stabilizing them. He was that sounding board, that level-headed person, keeping Mike sane, keeping Carla on track the best he could. And now that Kieran's on the other tribe, Carla's just spinning around, saying things, and no one can stop her until Mike really does it strongly and puts her in her place. I, though, also feel I learned in this episode, Carla is not as much of a competitor as I thought she was physically.
Yes. Oh my God. Which is, again, I know I hate to get so far, but like product placements are hilarious. When Carla was trying to get up the ramp in the immunity challenge, the product placement at the bottom said, which next week, like I'll actually have the actual products ready to go, but it literally said like, need a lift, da 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 da. And I was just like, oh my God, they're so good. So anyway, I was like, if you're going to do product placements, that's what I want. So anyway, sorry. Yeah. And I also think Varda, I'm not sure about her anymore.
I think she's one of the biggest losers of the tribe swap.
Yeah.
She completely disappeared in this episode. It's like her other half was taken from her. I had no idea she was in an alliance or that close of an alliance with Mike and Carla. She was just kind of following them around like a lost puppy. Yep. And I was so surprised that someone like Santini did not go try to pick her up and get her in their group.
I think because, again, Santini's really smart and she knows that Varda is with Anisu and Tyson, part of the blind site, basically. That's why I think that. Because when Santini goes up to it's someone and Varda, I can't remember who that middle person was, but saying, you know, we need to figure this out and like vote, you know, whoever out. And then Varda says, yeah, let's talk with, oh, maybe it wasn't Santini, maybe it was Mike and Carla, sorry. But anyway, Varda says like, yeah, let's talk to Chappies. And Santini was sitting there. Yeah. So again, I was like, no, the person you need to talk to is sitting right by you and you're just like ignoring her and, you know, trying to talk to Chappies. So that's why I agree. I think Varda just, unfortunately, like needs to figure out where she is. Yeah. Paul, hilarious. I was like, you're playing off the like silly fun guy, but like he's making all the right moves today.
Oh, yeah. I was very impressed with Amy.
Yes.
She is now her own person. She is there to play, even though she's down in the numbers. She's building relationships with people. And I feel that Nicole and Marisha were holding her back.
Yeah. 100%.
And not letting her play for who she is. And her and Smash are going deep. Watch out for them.
Agreed. I very much agree because again, like I was like, she's a lot more palatable now as opposed to what she was, for one. And then secondly, she was already kind of with Rainier, right? So I think she wanted to be her own person, but maybe, you know, like, but she was like, hey, but I have a strong trio. Like, why should I mess that up? But I very much agree. Shane also, I think, a winner, where he was also probably next one out on his tribe, but lucky duck. But okay, let's get to the reward. You know, we're about to start the reward, but I don't know if you were even watching the first round because all I could see was our girl Santini whispering, sorry, and Paul screaming. Paul, what are you doing?
No poker face. Paul was so surprised. He let everyone know. It seemed like I would have loved to see a confession from someone else sitting there,
Varda,
like 6 people over.
Sitting. Yeah.
To be like, what are they doing? We can all hear them.
And this is another like L for Varda. Now that because it's all clicking because she's sitting right by Paul, and Paul is literally over here being like, "What? Why didn't you tell me before? Why?" And like just inside voices, Paul, inside voices.
While this was happening, I will say how impressed I was with Nicole
Nicole, yes,
dominating Carla. I
yeah,
never saw that coming. Nicole is scrappy. She's a fighter, and I was very impressed with her
yes.
performance, annihilating Carla.
100%. Nicole gets all the credit here. From me, like it was amazing to watch, which is another reason why I like international seasons because the women are so strong. And just I was watching Australian Survivor and I'm like, the women are dragging the men up, and this love it. But also, sorry, I know I jumped forward because this moment was too good to talk about. But also, let's talk about the reward system. I love it. It's a reward per round. It isn't like a winner take all moment.
I agree. I think it's very fun, and it gives each contestant that wins a reward an opportunity to really be spotlighted by that reward.
Yes.
It can make someone say 6 days from now, well, I got us the hammock.
Yep.
I got us those chairs. You can't vote me out.
Yeah, I very much agree. And I think this also actually helps keep it a little bit more balanced because by this, every single thing would have, and it's like enormous, like a hammock, chairs, pillows, all
Blankets.
of that, like the comfort reward, would have gone all to New Zamba, which is crazy. And it's not, and they would have got the nutrition one. It completely would have been unfair. So I loved this. I think it really helps each tribe member, like you said, and I think it like gives you more incentive to win your heat.
Except at the very end, I felt so bad for Dino. Shout out to him. He had no chance. I would have loved to hear a confession of what he was thinking.
Yes.
And the nerves he had, because I don't think anyone on that beach wanted to go against Smash. And it was game over before it started. And that was the biggest reward.
Yeah, Dino deserves all the credit for his heart. I think Smash was like trying to be nice, but Smash was like, "Nah, we move it."
The one positive I think about Dino is he can now say, I'm not a challenge threat. When
Yes.
anyone brings him up as a puzzler or these other things, he can say, well, remember when Anella whooped me in the sand? I can't win challenges. I can't do anything.
Yep.
And I hope he plays that card. When the target becomes
and he's smart enough.
Exactly.
And he's smart enough to do it. Big agree. And I thought was really funny is Anella drags him. Like I felt like it was CT Johnny Banana's backpack all over again, where I was like, oh my god, like it wasn't even. And for everyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, just look up on YouTube CT Banana backpack, I think it's called. And that's literally what I thought. I was like, this is like watching a final whatever of the challenge, like elimination in the challenge, because it was so hard.
What did you think of Paul and the Whisper Gate?
Yes.
Was it obvious? Was he stealth mode, or was Dino just have 2010 vision and could spot that out from a mile away?
Yeah, first of all, Dino, oh my god, good on him for calling it out. Because again, some people would be like, I noticed it. Kieran, I feel like Kieran is that player. They'd be like, I saw it, but I didn't say it yet. But Dino's like, do y'all see this? Come on, everyone.
He's whispering again.
And I think it happened like twice or 3 times. But oh my god, Dino was again amazing to watch, where he was just like screaming at his tribe. What does he say? Do you see it? Do you see it? And then I think he's telling Keon, but we don't really get much from Keon. But Rainier, we do get a response from later. But either way, I liked it. I was like, if you're gonna do it, this is how you should do it. I do wish that their faces were Paul's face was toward the audience. Paul's face needed to have been on the other side, and Tyson's face needed to be down, and then Paul should have been on the other side covering Tyson so that Tyson could say it. Because I think hearing Paul speak, and then Tyson probably, I'm sure something made it harder, made it pretty obvious. But I'm wondering if Paul's face was being blocked by Tyson, would it have been different?
I also wonder how hard it was for Tyson to keep his emotions under wraps when he went back to the bench, knowing he had the location for an idol and he had to play it cool for the next few hours until they went back to the beach. That must have been such turmoil inside of him, trying to stay calm, not look too happy, because Dino would have jumped at the opportunity to confront him in front of everyone.
Yep. And be like, why are you so smiling? You just lost us
What
this.
did Paul tell you? I saw him whisper.
Exactly. Yeah, I love this, Kari. That if Kari's saying that if she was Paul, she would have talked trash out loud first, then whispered it to cover up, just as saying talking more shit. I agree, Kari. I think there needed to be something where it needed to be like a hug. Let's say out loud, hey man, you did so well, immunity idol, and then whisper something in his ear, like how basketball players do, right? When they're like talking like that, and they don't want the press to catch what they're saying to the opposite team. So to me, like, that's kind of, would have been a little better, but like, this made great TV.
They did the best they could. It worked.
He got the damn idol.
Varda's none the wiser. She had no idea.
To me, is this going to be the moment we come back to where we're like, no, Varda, like, unfortunately, maybe doesn't have the best pulse. Like, look what happened. Paul is literally screaming that, why didn't you tell me before? Shut up, Paul. Shut up.
I think Paul might struggle to control the level of his voice.
Yes.
I feel like he always is a very audible, like loud, outspoken, or outside voice person when he needs to be inside voice.
Yes. Paul, I understand. Very much me. I don't think I can whisper ever. Even when Jason probably tries to get me to when we used to work together, I don't think I could.
That's why I always used to look over my shoulder and make sure no one was around.
Or close the office door. Oh my God. But even then, we were so loud. Okay.
But
yes.
What did you think?
Yeah.
I guess when the challenge was over.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
They go to the beach. They go to the beaches. And Mike shows up on screen, says, we are in the hotel. They're in the Survivor suburbs. We were slumming it. Genius. I loved what he said. I very rarely do people describe the beach as the suburbs.
Suburbs of Survivor. I liked it, and this is very true because Paul, right, at the other camp was over here trying to build a damn cathedral. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but like seems like their basic needs were not fulfilled. Which bless their heart, like poor Paul. But I very much agree, and I think I have decided that orange just is a flop. Like if your tribe is orange, you're a flop. Wendell called it out first.
I was just gonna say that. The low.
Yeah. But I really feel that where orange is just like, it's an ugly color. Maybe because I'm an OU fan. I don't know. But like orange just like, it doesn't look good. The tribe is almost never like doing well. Again, I'm watching some San Juan del Sur. Coyopa is orange and they take him many L's. So same thing, where that's also another moment where I was like, it's always the other tribe that has the better shelter, that has the better food, has the better people even, I feel like, versus orange tribe. So I will say that's also a funny moment. Like, is there a curse of orange? I don't know. And then Rhaenyra susses out, that like Tyson must have something going, because why is he over at the other tribe, of course. But anyway, so why is Tyson gone for so long? What's going on? Like, I know that this is Vuna, but still, should they have done, Jason, what Sean and Smash Genius did? Because yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Should they have?
Smash and Sean had this incredible idea, and it worked. And I'm so impressed with Sean's ability to integrate himself into that tribe when he was almost the first person voted out.
Yep.
Almost volunteering himself, raising his hand to go home. And now him and Smash have this bond, and they are working together 90% of the time, because Smash ate those 2 protein bars. He did not give one to Sean. I noticed that. So just saying, are they really that tight?
Oh my God. Not even that. Smash like shoved it into his mouth. Like oh my God. It was so funny.
And it was so much of a better plan than in the first episode when Sean and Keon were, looking for the bad fruit or looking for the hidden flint in the bag of rice.
Girl.
This was a much more thought out plan that was executed perfectly.
And
And
how did they think of this? Like, when did they have
and
the
when?
time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was amazing. Again, what like top gameplay, because yes, don't you like normally I don't think I would think like, why isn't the whole tribe coming with me? I would be like, yeah, let me, I would be carrying the heavy set, be like, oh, let me drop it off. I'll like
Mhm.
kind of situate it around here and then y'all go ahead and look. I don't know. It was genius.
I also wonder if Amy was included in the planning of this because I feel she's very intelligent and has a good grasp on the game. And
Yes.
is she orchestrating it?
Mm-hmm. I could be, very much could be, but we didn't hear it from Amy. Oh, and then sorry, that's also something we didn't talk about, but or is it later? Yeah, that Amy, right, goes to no, that's later. Apologies. Yeah. It could be, but then why wouldn't they say Amy's name? I guess that's my question. Because it very much like Smash said, it's me and
Yeah.
yeah. So that's I don't
And
know.
that protein reward was incredible. I've never seen
Yes.
things like that. I've never seen a reward that the contestants get for after the game.
Yep.
I noticed that on the second time when Nico was talking about it. You get this when the journey is over, that like box of food refuel.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be at Ponderosa. What do they need a food reward for?
Yep. No, I liked it. I think it was very much the smart moment. And like I said, I think it's smart. It's great product placement for them, because I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
the survivors are going to maybe be posting about it later. Which I'd be like, oh, remember when we got bamboozled and thought there was which again, Sean and Smash made it a more iconic moment than it will be.
And I can imagine the cast's group text on this past
Yes.
Thursday because I doubt they told anyone and that everyone found out while watching it on TV. I would love to see some of those receipts. I bet it's hysterical conversation.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. And I can see like every time they get their little like shipment of it or whatever, or whenever they're using it, they're like, oh, I'm looking for advantages in here. So to me, like the brand wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like the brand is winning.
How long do you think that Tyson was out looking for the idol before he found it?
Yeah.
The,
It seems like long for it to be on people, but I don't know. Dino is always sussing
yeah.
everything out, so I don't know.
I ask because I was so curious if they noticed he was gone and they knew he was looking, why didn't they go look for him? They just let him free in the jungle to find 1, 2, 3 idols, and they would have no idea. You'd think they would follow him.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it because like he might have gone to say he's going to the bathroom, something like a moment where not water, basically, because I think water, they might go with him to be like, because if I was Dino, yeah, I'd be like, show me around camp, please. Tyson, you do it,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then seeing where Tyson is being shifty. So yeah, it's either that or it's that like they're the majority in a new camp. So they're being a little still not as what's the word, like cutthroat in the same way, because they're like, we're let it be a little easier, my kind of, my crew is here, and maybe he wasn't gone that long. It could.
Yeah.
I felt like Tyson was taking forever to open that idol. I was like, just open it, dude. What are you doing?
I agree. I feel it might not have taken him that long because he knew exactly where the idol was. He wasn't sifting through leaves, digging in trees.
Yeah.
He knew where he was going. He took 3 steps and it was there.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I mean. And then also going back, which I forgot, I wrote in my notes, but I forgot to talk about. I feel like Santini didn't put a lot of effort, at least from what we saw in the edit, like finding the idol. And I know she said like, oh, I don't want to be gone too long, but like, who cares, girl? Like, wait, if you're gonna take the risk, just do it and find the idol. But I think it all worked out, like I said, in their favor, because now they can find the idol at the other camp, and then their ally can find it at this camp.
And there's the other idol that she knows about.
Exactly. Yep. So, oh yeah, I keep forgetting with the tribal one. So yeah, so that's what I mean. So I think it actually all worked out perfect. So I love that. And then I also, did you notice Dino talking again, saying you've inherited to Vuna, saying you've inherited an athlete, a brain, some other stuff. I was like, what?
it was hard to follow for me because I wasn't sure who was the brain, who was the athlete.
Yeah. I'm assuming Marisha is the athlete, Rainier is the brain, but like maybe that's at least for me. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to
Hmm.
last. I don't think these are permanent nicknames that they're now going to be referred to as in upcoming episodes.
Yeah. I I hope so.
So the next thing that happened that
Hmm.
stood out to me is when Tyson approaches Anesu, like, let's go talk on the beach.
Yep.
And the two of them go off on this like joy walk, toes in the sand. Everyone can see them and no one thinks it's suspicious.
Thank you. So that's yeah. That's another one where and right before this we get the Rainier saying we're not Survivor rookies. You are. You definitely are. If you're letting him do this, you are.
Yeah.
Because
After
what is
just coming
Boston
back from the jungle to
exactly?
then go to the sand. Sorry.
Yeah, and what does Boston Rob say, right? Like you always have to follow people, you put a man on them at all times. And this is exactly why I was like, wait, like you are a rookie.
Yeah.
Like look at what you're doing. Rookie moves. But I also love that he says it's huge. And then Anison's like, no, I can't see it. Versus Sean having the bulge. Like it's just so funny. Oh,
I
God.
love their relationship, and I think
Yes.
it's only going to grow because they're in a minority on this tribe.
Mhm.
And I hope the edit in the show gives us more content of the two
Yeah.
of them and the three of them with Kieran also, because they're bringing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. That's definitely what I agree with. That it's just I don't know, it was so like cute and I loved it. And then he tells Kieran, which he had to, he 100% didn't have a choice. Thank God he did. And again, I really feel like Kieran is a very smart player because the confessional we get from Kieran is like, I hope that this helps us maneuver out of this instead of like a, well, we like I'm still missing my allies, blah blah blah. Like we didn't get any of that. Again, he could have said it and it's not in the edit, but like I appreciated that Kieran is in game mode and he's like tunnel vision now. These are my two. That's
Exactly.
it. So that's which is very much not the case on New Zamba, where they're still flopping and flailing everywhere. But Kieran, I felt like, is locked in. And again, if someone tells me they have an idol, like how the hell I'm gonna keep a straight face while cutting wood? Because I'm cutting myself at that point with like happiness.
Especially when you're down in the numbers.
Right? You're just like, oh, right. Let me be normal. Let me be normal. God, I could never.
I hope it's showing Kieran what real allies look like. These people have his back, unlike, in my opinion, Mike and Carla did when in the previous tribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I very much agree. That's why, like I said, I think, and you said this best, where I think the three of them have the best chance of making it through because they really trust each other and they're pretty smart players too.
Yeah.
And I hope Anisu like uses her charm to get Theriso and Kian out of there. And they should be out of there, please. Those others aren't for you. And then we come to New Zamba, where this is where it starts getting wild for me. So Chappie's and Paul's on the out. Like they both kind of know it. Carla knows it. Carla, what the hell you doing, girl? Because Mike, so I'm with Mike this whole time, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Like I think for himself, he's doing all the right things. For Carla, he's doing all the right things. Actually, for everyone, but the other three, he's doing the right thing. Where he's like, we need to stick together. We need to do this. And Carla is just spilling her guts to Smash, talking about, they're on the out, like Chappies and Paul. Not even talking about Santony, idiot. Like not very smart move. And just, kind of spills everything and Smash was like, yeah, we're with you. What do you need? Because what else is Smash gonna say? And then Mike says, hello, Carla. They're gonna tell you anything.
Girl, you're being played. That's what he said to her. I wrote in my notes when I was watching this, seeing Carla with such confidence that she has HOH-itis.
Yes, 100%.
She feels like she won. She got Pine Tea voted out. She can do anything she wants. No one can touch her. She's the queen. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
You're being played. You're wrong. And she was so disappointed. It seemed to me in her body language when Mike was sharing this with her. You think they believe you?
Yep.
And I was really impressed with Mike in this interaction. from this point in the episode on, I realized why people like him and have been cheering for him the last few episodes. So good for him. I gained a lot of respect for him watching him navigate this and do his
Yep.
best to make it through.
100%. I also didn't appreciate Carla saying like Chappies and Paul have zero strategic mind and like everything else that she was saying. She's like, maybe I'm emotional and maybe it is. I just don't like them. Very biz. I don't know why. Like she would be in that phase.
She also said they have no social game.
Yeah, wrong.
Which made me laugh out loud. And I'm like, you think these people are both neither strategic nor social? How'd they get on the show? How'd they last this long? How are they bonding with other people? And I just wanted to like shake her and say, wake up, open your eyes. And I could see the frustration growing inside of Mike, having to sit by her, knowing that she saved him.
Yep.
And he's loyal and he's going to try his best to save her. And it ended up hurting him in the long run because he's now hanging out in Ponderosa. Spoiler alert.
That's exactly how I felt, where I was like, I wonder if Mike wasn't tied to her, would it have been better for him? Maybe, but I still think, they were just a twosome. And she really put them as a twosome. So it was impossible.
And something I want to point out that we haven't mentioned yet is that Amy was also there.
Yes.
Hearing this, sussing out what Carla was saying, reading Mike. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I also think Amy is a lawyer.
Oh, maybe she is. I can't remember.
I'm not sure, but if her and Mike are both lawyers, I want to say that maybe she was able to read him and see that he knew Carla was full of it. And that could be why she instantly flipped and was like, they turned on you. Your alliance isn't with you. Let's make moves.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like Carla put it in full speed and she was just driving after Carla lied to her.
Yep. And I missed this comment, but I agree, Geneva. I think that's the best way to put it. Magical idol finding moment. 100% that. So yeah, I agree. I'm gonna look her up right now if she's a lawyer, because then I think it all makes sense. Because again, seeing her, which we'll talk in a little bit at I keep calling it Exile Island. I know it's not.
Immunity Island.
She's a corporate lawyer. And she said she was actually wine drunk when she sent her application in. So that's really funny. Yeah. Which is, that's exactly why you got selected.
I also learned in these interactions how close that Amy and Smash are.
Yes. Which I
didn't know that.
It was on. Yeah. That's why I didn't understand that. Was it like a need moment? And they never like were against each other on the other tribe, but very much like to me it seemed like flawless, seamless how they came together.
My fan fiction explaining it is that Anella Smash was the glue holding his tribe together, and that he was the one boosting the vibe, building relationships with everyone. They could all rely on him, and he's just able to bond with any of them individually once the tribe swap happened. No matter who those two people would have been with him, I feel they would have been just as close with him, wanting to work with him. Because that's just who he is. That's why he's on the show. He didn't make a wine drunk video.
Yeah. No, I very much agree. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is where maybe we should note these questions down and definitely reach out to the cast after, and ask all of this, because I agree. Was Amy part of this, divide and conquer plan? Amy and Smash, what's going on? And was Smash that close? And then and again, with Santony, I also want to know, did they ever talk to you? At all? I really want to know.
And before we move on, the last thing I put, I put in my notes about this was just thinking about the new alliance that's being formed of Amy and Smash and Sean working with Chappies, Paul, and Santony. Whoa. I love that alliance. It's so interesting. They're all different game players with different stories, and I want to see them in the end.
Yeah, me too. This is definitely the one I want going forward too, because like I said, I just think they're all likable people in different ways, if that makes sense. It's not like they're all on the outs, or like a Kian and Theresa. We like them for, I think, very specific reasons. And they're both very smart. They're both, pretty well. Kian, sorry, it's more of a challenge beast, but Theresa was that game mastermind.
Yeah.
But I feel like all of this crew is so different, but they're very even keeled. They're very chill. And that's how they're able to, I think, gonna go far.
And they're there to play. And
Yes.
that's like what I look for in Survivor players to cheer for, people that want to be there, that are also fun and out there to have a good time and win $1 million, not just strategic game bots. While I
Yep.
like some of those, I want to be entertained and see people that bring it. And all 6 of these people are bringing it
Yep.
every day.
Yeah. That's it. Ugh. Thank you. Thank you, Survivor South Africa. Perfect. And then, they kind of talk about getting Mike out. And then Amy and Smash are obviously very excited about it. And I think Amy does talk to Santini, right? Or yeah, I think that's also another moment where I feel like Amy's giving Santini all the right kind of like moves. And she's like, I care about you. I'm investing in you. I'm talking with you. Very much what Santini's old tribe wasn't doing. So that's another piece why I feel like that is the biggest kind of linchpin. Like Santini was the linchpin in this episode. And I think the edit gave her the credit, but I think the people on the island have not given her the credit yet. So that's what I feel. And she's playing hard, of course. Great. And then we get to the immunity challenge, which the biggest thing I felt like with the advantage, which wasn't no advantage, but that Zamba starts with one ring already placed on their platform. So they don't have to swim out as many times, or one less time, sorry. But I don't know that really helped. Vuna was killing it. Zamba, I think, finished first. But I don't know why Chappies was throwing it. His hands hurt. He already told us in the reward challenge. This man was missing everything.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot that earlier in this episode he spoke about his hand and the bandages. I didn't even connect that as a reason why he was missing. I really liked this challenge. I really liked the advantage.
Yes.
It didn't have that big of a factor because that tribe didn't end up winning, but it's a fun thing to throw into the game in the pre-merge that won't have that big of a difference or an impact on the end game. I was very impressed with Kieran.
Oh my, I literally wrote that when I was watching it for the first time. I was like, this is not the archetype we ever get, man. We never get this. Like, we never get the strong, brown man. It's like an Asian man. I mean, yeah, he's Indian. So we don't get that. We get the like, we're nerdy, whatever. Kieran looked so good, like, throwing it. He looked like, I don't know. He was into it. I loved it. And I just, like I said, that's the tribe I like want to win more anyway.
I also loved the challenge. It was really fun. It was easy to watch. It was entertaining enough. It was a little bit challenging. Poor Warda. She was really struggling to run up that. I felt bad for her when Inesu, who's like 6'5", it looks like in this challenge, just like, oh, I'm there. And she was over that hurdle. So good for her.
Very much agree. Yeah, definitely how I feel too, because I don't think I could have, because it's that American Ninja Warrior, like the wall. I was like, I can absolutely never. I'd stick to that thing. Like my body would just get stuck to it because I'd be wet and I can't even swim. So obviously I would never do this challenge, but still. Oh my God, poor Warda, and Carla too couldn't do it. It took her a few times, and Nico even says that he thinks it's because the platform was wet, but the other team was like going just flip flopping quick. They were going up that thing. I also, like I said, this is where they had that really funny product placement, like where it says use this if you need a boost. I can't remember the product. Next week I'll write it down, but it was so funny. Also Paul was killing it on Zamba with throwing the rings. Why the hell they didn't let him keep throwing? I'm just, oh my God, I don't know. I don't understand. This is where I think we're falling into maybe implicitly the white athletic man, because Mike even says, Chappies, you're the athletic threat, but like he's not in the reward and an immunity challenge. He's not the threat.
Yeah, that being said, I also do love how close the challenge was. Like I was recapping it in my notes. Vuna's in the lead 3-2. Now it's 3-3. Kieran makes it. It's 4-3. It's 4-4. Like I love that. And we've seen that close competitive, balance in both challenges. Every challenge this season, it's been down to the wire and they are very close, which is so rare in Survivor. Usually it's a blowout. One tribe goes to tribal time after time after time. It's never evenly balanced, especially when it's randomly drawn.
Exactly. And that's why I just feel like I don't know, it was brilliant. And that's why they're evenly matched tribes, where even with the hurt hand, Chappie's was like doing well. And Paul was also helping the tribe. I was surprised Sean wasn't doing more of the throwing, because I think we've seen him do well last episode, right? With the challenge. So that's another moment. Dino didn't do anything, but I don't think he needed to. Kieran was killing it. And then with that, Vuna wins immunity. We love it. I will say this is a tribe I wanted to win immunity because I was like, my face, I can't. And I really wanted to see what happened at Zamba. I think I was like, there's more expendable players here for me. And it's a little bit more in the air. So you got lucky, Survivor South Africa, with that. But anyway, so Amy's going to Immunity Island. It was picked by obviously new Vuna, but old Zamba really. And she's grateful that old Zamba has her back.
Did you hear Rainier advocating to send Amy? It's that, Mafia alliance they formed in the previous week. Oh, the tribe will be weaker if we send Amy. We got to send Amy. We got to send Amy. And I hope someone else out there picked up on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It made no sense why they would want to send Amy.
No.
Like bizarro behavior, because not even that. It's like Amy should have had. Here's the only knock I will say. Amy needed her vote. What if?
Yeah.
Like, so that was weird. Like, so I would actually take away a vote of someone that's safe. Like, I'm trying to think who. Yeah, like Carla or something. So that was very bizarre. Like, that's what I would be advocating for if I were actually old Zamba, to say like, but it's hard because you want your person to be safe, but still I would rather like other person lose their vote. And then did you see another Whispergate where Chappie says, they're going to throw you in, but we need your vote. If you go, this is going to be an issue for us. So that's another moment where I'm like, they're always playing.
And Santony also replied, yeah, we need your vote.
Yes.
Backing
I didn't
up.
see that. Yeah. See, so this is what I mean, where like every moment is something. And I love that. I love that like they're always playing, even when they just kind of need to sit and stare, like they're still killing it. So this is where I knew that like they're definitely together and this is how the vote's going to land. But I don't know. That was wild. Then we get to Immunity Island.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Carla say before we went to Immunity Island on how she needs to keep her mouth shut because the more I say, the more trouble I'm getting in.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, my God.
That was like the confession as they were going to Immunity Island.
Got it.
And that turned me on to realize like, wow, Carla gets it. She instantly has recalibrated her mind, seen the landscape, and knows to keep her mouth shut and let Mike do all the talking, putting all the votes on Mike. That's why Carla wasn't really in the second part of this episode, I feel.
No. That makes a lot more sense because I was also confused how it went from Carla to Mike. Because I think I would have wanted Carla out. But either like good on her, because I think she, like we know from the previous two episodes, whoever's the leader and in the front is in trouble. So she kind of let Mike do it. I don't know if she let him or, again, I'd love to know from Santony, like why they picked Mike instead. But we'll ask that hopefully later.
I'll share my thoughts about that later on when we get to it. Because I think I might know why.
Perfect. And then we get to Immunity Island where Amy is kind of talking about like taking one for the team, like should I be for myself and play selfishly. I think she could have taken one for the team and not been in trouble, but I don't know if like her bequeathing immunity to someone else would have put her in trouble. So I was like, I can see why not. I think she actually did the right thing. So she stayed and played, and she had to make a puzzle. So this is where I think not Pearl Islands. Is it? No, not. This is like an old school Survivor where when they'd win, they'd raid the camp. I can't remember which one it was. anyway, with the Scoutmaster,
Yeah, that's Pearl Islands.
Pearl Islands. I thank God. I was like, wait, am I wrong? So
Well, the
I
raids have happened a few times. That's why. So
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't sure
I have
which one
not
you were
seen. Yeah,
referencing.
that's who I'm thinking of. Like yeah. Anyway, so right, yeah. So if you win, your tribe can go and raid the other tribe, and then if you lose, that tribe is gonna come raid you. Which I was like, I'd be like, eat the nutrition things quick or hide them. I would bury them so bad.
This showed how level-headed that Amy is, thinking about her allies in this game, the Mafia
Yes.
alliance she has. She doesn't want to take stuff away from Rainier and the rest of them. And we very rarely hear that because just
Yeah.
earlier in this, we were talking about Kieran, new day, new alliance. These are my people. Amy does not have that philosophy. She's riding it out with her old people when I would be
Yeah.
thinking, let's raid them. Give me everything. I want to stay in this game longer.
No, I definitely agree. And good on her. Like I said, I can't knock anything. And then she started talking about, oh, I'll give it to Anila if I'm seeing that I'm in trouble. And then Nico says it at Tribal that you can't give it. So I was like, I don't know if production was like, you need to say this because she might do this. So that was another like funny moment that I liked. But anyway. I was like, you're screwing your own tribe, but okay, still smart.
And when she was explaining in it what to do, what story is she going to say and tell them,
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes when she said, do I become a liar?
Mm-hmm.
And that just cracked me up because I'm like, yes, of course you should lie. Like, this is a game. Like, come on.
Oh my God. No, very much that. And then also, did you I did not see this. This is a me problem, but the hourglass has a skull on it. I saw this the first time I saw it, but I really loved the hourglass. The top half is a skull.
I did not notice that. I'll have to look it out.
So it's still all glass, but the top is skull. Loved it. I thought that was a really cute moment as well. And then she unfortunately couldn't get the puzzle done. That puzzle was hard. I don't know if I could have done it. Ugh, you like Survivor puzzles. Could you have done it?
If I studied, I probably could have done it. I'm pretty sure this was the challenge from Survivor Second Chances that Spencer Bledsoe did in 5 seconds because when he saw it on the screen, he pushed pause and traced his own version of the puzzle.
Oh, yes.
I think that was this challenge, but I'm not 100% positive.
That makes sense. It could be very well could be, or at least a version of that. So that's smart. Yeah, either way, you definitely should do puzzles if you're going on Survivor, people.
I don't know if I could beat the hourglass because I feel you get more nervous watching the red sand drip through the hourglass.
And the fact that it's red, I think stresses me out more because they're correct in putting it red, but I think that would just be like, oh, it's all gone. It's done. Yeah. It's done. No way. That's why I couldn't believe Santony did it because I was like, how? Where was the time?
And I love that you noticed the use of the skull imagery in the hourglass because it's also in the voting urn with the skull with the snake going through it.
Exactly.
And I hope that that imagery is also used in the immunity necklace because this might be a theme of part of the season.
Yes, exactly. Again, just prop department, you're killing it. And now she can't get the puzzle done. Her camp gonna be raided, which again, I was like, oh my God, how are you gonna explain it? So I'm excited for her to try to slither her way out of that. Probably not, but we'll see. And then we get to pre-tribal time, where it's deliberation. This is where it gets juicy. I feel like I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Who's going on? Oh, now they're talking. Oh, now they're talking. So, like I said, this is a tribe I wanted to go see to tribal. This is, I think it makes a lot of sense for the story to move forward. It's perfect. And then Mike is trying to get Smash or Neela out, and then he's talking to Santony. Yeah, it's in our best interest. Sorry, so it was Mike, and I did take notes. That it's in our best interest to vote Smash out, and then Varda says, "Let's talk to Chappies," which here I think should have been a moment to say, Santony, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking? I trust you. I care about you. I think Santony might be too smart to do that, but still.
They don't think Santony's that smart.
Yes.
And they felt she would just follow them along, being told what to do. This is your role in our alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who they think that's going to work on, but it's certainly not going to be on Santony.
Exactly. I very much agree.
I also just wanted to ask you, who do you think they would have targeted if it wasn't Smash? Because I thought that might be hard to get the votes on him, and it might have been easier for them to put the target on Sean
Yeah,
because he's not contributing to the tribe, and Smash is helping them.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know why they picked Smash. That's something I was also thinking about. Like, I wrote, why do they want Smash out? It's very bizarre because unless they know that Smash is so well liked, Smash is actually doing so much, they know that Smash will go far and they can't make it to the merge with him. And maybe because Sean actually showed them around camp, I wonder if that helped Sean, even if it's like a little bit, but did that help Sean become, more ingrained with
That's a good
them?
point.
Because he served as like I'm thinking of at university, you remember your tour guide and you remember like this person helped me, build a connection to this new place. So maybe that's why, and it could be implicit, but not maybe not like, I don't know why I picked Smash, as Carla loves to say. And then Santini immediately goes and talks to them again, rookies, because like, do you not see her going and talking to them?
I thought they told Santini to go talk to them. Bless you. What I saw happen was they said, Santini, this is what we want to do. Go talk to Chappies and Paul.
Oh,
and so she went there being a double agent, strutting along to be like, y'all, they think they can trust me. Let's vote them out. And I was so impressed with Santini's
I thought Smash was sitting there. That's because Smash and Sean are also sitting there when she's saying this. That's why I'm like, stupid. Hello.
But I loved when Sean then was like, so who do you want to get out?
Yes.
Who do you not want to be at the merge? And I wrote down, yes, Sean, get it. Because that was the moment that I realized he's much smarter than he's letting on. Because those pointed questions show someone that you're on their side.
Yep. And it's like relationship building 101, right? Like, you never be interested, not interesting.
We both took that class 101, 201, 301.
Oh my God. But like the point is like he was interested in her, and you're not being like, look, I'm such like what Mike was doing, right? Like, I am such a threat, blah blah, you need me, versus Sean was like, no, you tell me what you're thinking and then we'll go from there. So that's exactly what we want from a person. So I appreciated that again from Sean, like, good on him to do that.
Then I was really impressed when Santini gave that confession talking about how she's not tied down by one person. She's able to move throughout the game, doing what's best for her today and what's best for her in the future. And that tells me she might flip-flop, which I'm here to see it. Let's make it happen.
Exactly. And that's why, again, her confessional is so key. They think that I am a dummy, or, that I'm stupid or not strategic, but like they have something coming for them. And they sure did. Carla. Sorry, I really need to get over that. Poor Carla. She was crying. And then can we talk about this? So like now Smash, Sean, Chappies are talking. I think Santini by that time had gone back, being the good double agent that she is. What the hell's a bloody corporate? Or is that what they were saying?
It's a body corporate.
What?
It's not a bloody corporate. It's a body corporate. I asked Rabbi Google this question because I had never heard this term before in my life. It is a legal term meaning to corporate.
Got it.
So
like
because
they were having a meeting.
Because Mike is a lawyer, he's using this term that makes him sound pretentious and elitist when talking to people that he's trying to bond with and be on the same level playing field. So clearly it didn't work. And he kept saying it. The body corporate, the bloody corporate. Like, what did it mean? What did it do? It just got him, it just really snuffed his torch.
Yep. I very much agree. I was like, a bloody because in India, again, like, we are also colonized from the British, so like we use the word bloody a lot. So that's why I was like, oh, a bloody mess. I was like, what the hell is this? Anyway, sorry. Great. Thank you for that, Jason. Now, we see Mike is pleading really hard, where he's like pleading his case. He's like, this is the best defense or most important defense of my life, and he, again, I feel like is a mistake speaking to my man Chappies and not Santini.
Yeah. What a great way to get someone on your side. you're such a threat. When we get to the merge, they're all going to target you. You need us here together. Like, he really thought that was going to work.
To me, it should have been like, we didn't have any problem with you. Pine tea is the one we were struggling with, like, we really care about Pine tea, but like, Carla should have played the whole, like, she made me feel, blah, blah, something, I don't know what. And then talk to all of them and be like, Santini, don't you agree? Put her on the spot a little bit. Damn.
And Mike made it about him and Carla instead of making it about everyone else.
Yep.
And
that's why Paul, and that's why Paul wasn't. What incentive does Paul have to keep this man when on the other side it's pretty even, where it's 3-3 versus like 3-3.
And Paul should trust them enough when they didn't trust Paul the day before to tell them who they were voting for.
And this whole like, oh, they didn't like tell us, what is it? Yeah, like the sleeping thing, sorry, is what I'm talking about, where it's like, why would you be with someone that, that you've only slept with one night versus like the someone you've cuddling with for how many ever days? What the hell kind of one night stand analogy is that? Because guess what? Sometimes one night stands may be the better way to go than a toxic relationship.
And Chappie's reaction was priceless.
Yeah.
To be that it just like tickled him up. He was like, oh, ha ha ha, yeah. Knowing in his mind, can't wait to vote you out, Mike. This is not working on me. And I was impressed with Chappie's poker face. He was able to sell Mike most of the way, because we did hear from Mike after, which I loved seeing this side of Mike being like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm closing. But I'm not hearing them say, Mike, I got you, fam. Let's do this.
Exactly.
They're not saying that. And that really showed, I think, that the inner person and his nerves inside of him really coming out, that he didn't know what to say. He does not tell people, I got you, fam.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very curious to hear him use those words to describe his feelings.
Yeah, because he kept talking about like, I want to be a salesman, always be closing and all this stuff. And it's interesting because I think, Paul and Chappies were doing a good job of nodding along and being like, no, I see what you mean. Like, I understand. Like, we do need to all be together, blah, blah, blah. But it still wasn't connecting in the same way, thankfully, in the long run, because I also agree that why would you be with someone like Carla and who can pollute Mike's mind-ish, maybe, that just is talking just mad shit on you, just saying like you're zero strategic game, zero social game. I'm sure somehow, some way they heard this. There's no way that this was kept under wraps between the two of them. So why would you go with them? It absolutely makes zero sense. And for Santini to feel so shitty also. Because of them.
What did you think of Mike's making the handshake agreement with them? Did you think they were going to hold up their end of the bargain because they shook on it?
I know.
It's Survivor. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is where it's Big Brother. You can bounce checks in this house, right? That was very much what I thought it was, where I didn't know if I was like, are they just, gonna like follow along and then maybe, next time, like, be like, okay, now that we decimated their numbers, now I can, take them and really be mine, like Chappies and Paul and Santini being like, now we'll have a good group, now that we took away their number. But I think they did the right thing, but I was not leaning toward that, but I was like, because Mike said, now that you told me you're going with my plan, this is all I have. So that's why I didn't understand, like, I didn't know if they would be going for it.
And he kept saying my plan instead of our plan.
It's like, don't other people. It's so easy. Like, where you should always be speaking as this is our plan. Like, Chappies, you're so smart. Santini, like, what do you think? Like, you went to Immunity Island. First of all, why the hell you're not asking her what happens at Immunity Island? And then using that to say, like, well, Santini, like, Amy is also now doing this. Don't you want to weaken Amy's numbers? That's how, like, play that angle. I don't know. I just feel like you should never sleep on someone. It's stupid, because that's how you get screwed. And then we go to Tribal, where the merge, like Nico talks about, the merge is still pretty far, so you don't want to stay kind of in your split, and try to get to know each other, and then that kind of becomes the overarching theme of this Tribal, where it's like, are we gonna split, or are we gonna start over, or are we gonna like make work on our split and like, you know, get back to trusting each other. That kind of seems to be the overarching theme. And then Smash, you know, is like the starting confessional where he talks about, you know, you should want to start over because why do you
Yeah.
want to be with people that burned you? And I think that's exactly it. They burned you so bad. Like you got took for a fool.
And Smash is able to build those relationships with them and say it in an uplifting way. Like
Mm-hmm.
if they were working with you, they wouldn't have done this. You weren't that tight with Pinty. They weren't trying to
Yep.
protect you. He's able to manipulate them, or not manipulate, help them see what's really happening.
Yeah.
I also am impressed that he was really beating that drum, like new tribe, clean slate, let's start over. We are all here on this tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that really worked for the winner of Survivor Blood Water, Tyson. He said every time he went on a tribe swap, those were his people. What's past is in the past, but this is today. And that's, I think, the way Smash is approaching this game. He's not holding on to past relationships.
Exactly. And I think Smash, Amy and Sean, like, are we not getting them talking? I know Amy wasn't there, like, she came later, but like, what are we missing? Because they're in lockstep.
Yeah.
Together. Like they are killing it. Like everything they're saying is same, driving the same point home. All that they are always be closing. I feel like, and they're actually closing versus like this other group where Carla talks about like, yeah, I want to name this, which I think she did well. She correctly named it. Little too late, but like you named it, and now you're saying, you know, hopefully we can work together and come together. Why didn't you do that before? I don't know. It was a mess.
She was too confident. She had the numbers. She got her way at tribal and she thought she was untouchable until then she realized it was either her or someone else.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, and that's exactly why I feel like it's good and really like pushing forward. Little too late, too bad. Anila, I think, again says the best thing like the family had a rift, so stop saying you're a family, kind of, you know, and be like, and all your conversations were reactive. That to me sealed the deal. I was like, there's absolutely no way that Chappies and Paul should go with them. I mean, we know Santony, I don't think was ever going to, but like this is exactly where naming that it's reactive. Yesterday they were trying to vote each other out. They weren't even talking to each other still. I wonder if Smash told, or maybe I missed it and it was in the edit. Smash told, oh my God, Chappies that Carla was trying to vote him out. Because I think that is the nail in the coffin to say, like, they're saying that, but guess what she was telling me at the well? Or not even, this isn't a new thing that came up. She was trying to do it the day before.
They didn't show that, but now that you say it, I'm 100% confident that happened.
Yeah. So I really hope he did. He like said that, and then and he pushed that out as well. And then because again, like I said, you messed up, and Anila and Sean and Amy, I'm assuming, I want to give her credit too, were just too good. And they kind of like lapped you in strategy a little.
And why would you keep failing at a failed relationship?
Yep. Don't say toxic relationships, people. Don't do it. Especially when the other one you're even. Like it's an actual partnership. There's 3 and 3. Like, and you probably could get Varda if, you know, now who the hell does Varda have to go to?
Yeah, she's really drawing dead for me right now. But I did note, I wanted to make sure to say that Carla raised her hand.
Yep.
Which to me showed that she feels inferior, that she doesn't have a strong enough voice to speak up today. But in the last episode, she was not shy at all and was not raising her hand, but actively telling people what she thought. So I wonder what changed, or if she was just trying to sit on her hands to not get voted out.
Yep. Exactly that. And that's why I think you're correct in that. No, maybe she did have like a change where she realized since the immunity challenge, where she was like, I need to just shut the hell up and let him, you know, take the fall for me. We didn't get a confessional for her, Mike, talking about Mike about that. So I'm skeptical, but let's see.
What did you think about at Tribal Council when Mike leaned over to Chappies? So are you with us? Are you Vuna strong?
Yes, that's my next point as well. Where I was like, good on you, Mike. I think that he's correct. He should have done it. Kind of exposes it Chappies again. I don't know how these people are so smart on their feet. I don't know if that nutrition powder is really helping, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the plan." And this is the right way to say I'm gonna stick with the plan,
Shout out
everyone.
Keith Nail.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, this is I think the right way to say it. Like, I'm just sticking to the plan. Blah blah blah. I'm with you. Are you with our plan? Again, Smash. I think Smash and Sean didn't have any option but to stick with the plan. So maybe it didn't matter what Chappies would say, but I think they put a lot of trust in him.
I've been really impressed with Chappies and his ability to stay so even keeled in these situations when Mike is pushing him, asking him these questions in tribal in front of everyone, and Chappies didn't even blink. It didn't faze him. And I'm just really impressed with his poker face and his ability to lie with no problem. It's awesome. He's there to play.
Mm-hmm. And this is what we want. I want a Mike cornering someone at tribal council. I want Chappies to lie right back, especially after you screwed him like in the last tribal. For no reason. I still don't understand. They should have told him, really screwed him. But I hope this is good for future survivor, future castaways, where they will see that, like, if you're gonna blindside someone, you never know what's gonna happen the next day. So like prep for that too. Don't just live in the moment. Which is basically what screwed them. And then, Paul talked about, I want to keep the tribe strong and build trust. So this way I was like, could go either way. So good on you, Paul, again. And then we vote, right? Anything else from tribal?
No, I think it was interesting. The last thing, just when Miko, commented about Amy and using the idol or not using the idol. He loves bringing that stuff up from Immunity Island.
Exactly. He's like, we still have no idol. And then he says, you can't share it. You can't give it away. And then the votes start coming out and you see Amy being like, shoot, I messed up. I should have given it to Smash. I was right. I felt like that's what was going on her face. And she hasn't obviously been part of any of the conversation. So she doesn't know that this is fine. This is how, it's going to be a 5-3, I think, vote. Like, it'll be fine. But you could see Amy just being like, oh my God. And then I started freaking out a little. I was like, so was this the obvious, like, Amy, they gave us the Amy confessional and now Smash is going because of it. But then I was like, no, we didn't get enough goodbye from Smash. Goodbye moments are like, I'm doing this for the, whatever, that kind of moment. So it was a 5-3 vote. I loved it. I think it's correct. We get the thug tier from Carla, the one tier. Girl, I don't know. Carla tears. I wasn't too mad at it.
No, I was happy with this outcome. Mike did well in this episode, especially now knowing that it was his boot episode. I like his trajectory on the season. I wasn't surprised that Carla voted with him. Yes. I was kind of surprised that Warda didn't change her vote.
I don't think she knew. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Even though she's so loyal, she should have thrown her vote on someone else just to not be associated with them.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have the stance of, I didn't know what's going on. I'm an outsider, than I am with Mike and Carla. Because they would have maybe been more open to bringing her in if she hadn't have voted for Smash.
And the problem is they don't need her anymore.
No, they don't need her.
So this is where the insert Nicole soundbite, right? Like, you need us more than we need you moment. Where I don't think they would ever be that rude to her, but I just mean that's like that moment for it. So I just feel bad for Warda. I think she should have sussed it out a little bit more and not been so like, we have the numbers, so we're good on that. Yeah. Perfect. And that is the episode here. Jason, anything else about the episode? If not, would love to hear your threat list.
I was just getting started for that.
Love it. And put your threat list in the comment too. I can pull it up if the people watching want to do that. Anyway, go ahead, Jason.
I don't know how to do that, so hopefully other people put their list in.
Oh, okay. No. Sorry, I was saying people that are listening. We have viewers right now. Put your comments. Yeah.
I tried to split it up by gender. So I think the men that are the biggest threats to win right now are Tyson and Smash and Dino and Chappies.
Yeah.
I'm loving what the four of them are bringing. It's no particular order, but I think if a man wins this game, it's going to be one of the four of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the women that I'm most impressed with, that I think have the biggest threats to win, are now an updated list of Amy,
yes,
Santini, and Inesu.
Yeah.
And I'm riding with them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What about you?
Yeah, like I know that like that International Survivor like doesn't do this winners edit, but like if there was a winners edit, Santini's getting it. Like there's no, like I see that. So I will say for me, like I hope Kieran can somehow pull it out. I think the numbers just aren't in his favor, and then seeing Mike out, I hope doesn't like put him down a spiral. And he needs to cut Carla. Like he please don't be loyal to Carla is my point. So I would like Kieran to win. I feel like we have kinship there, so I need to. But I agree with you. I think Chappie's, Sean, and Anila are the best for the men. And then I think women, Aniso is still killing it. And I won Santini and Aniso, I think, for now at least. For me. And Amy, I'm still not 100% sold on it yet, but I can see it.
And the woman who fell off my list for this week is Kian, because she didn't get any screen time. They didn't show us what she's thinking, even though I still think she has a great opportunity to go deep in this game, because Survivor South Africa doesn't do a winner's edit. Like season 6, the first season I watched, I did not think the winner had a chance of winning until the votes were read.
Wow.
Because the edit did such a good job of showing us both sides of this character.
Got it.
So I still think it's anybody's game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what, and I hope Kian can pull it out again. Like we are always rooting for Asians. Like we never get a lot of representation. So, I gotta say it. I got to. Perfect. And with that wraps up episode 3 coverage of Survivor South Africa. And before we end, of course, you can follow us on, oh my God, sorry, y'all. This is my second time only doing it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, with everyone. We want to know your thoughts, and make sure you follow us on Twitch. We finally got to 50 on Twitch. Yeah. So thank you to everyone, especially thanks to our 50th follower. And Jason, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter @TheRealJO, where I'm posting about reality TV, concert I went to at Red Rocks last night, as well as the NBA playoffs. And I'm really hoping that Philly can win today. Shout out Isaiah.
Yeah.
And before I pass the mic back to you, I will say also congratulations to one of my best friends from college who got married last night. So congrats to Jordan and Lauren.
Mazel. We love it. And you can find me on Twitter @funsize_04, where I also am talking a lot about same things Jason's talking about, but I'm not as outdoorsy. So I'll be talking a lot about just my silly reality TV watching. And you can catch me, I'm not sure when it's out, but on the 16th Best Survivor 16th, very low, should be top 5. It's fine. Survivor San Juan del Sur with Rob has a podcast, and we'll be talking about that season and breaking it down. My best winner, I feel like Natalie is the queen, but it's very, very contested, I feel, this episode, this season. So I'm excited to chat over on Rob has a podcast about that. So catch me there. And in the meantime, make sure, again, like, comment, subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Have a great week.